All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your professor, Dr. Jace Austin, and welcome to week number 5. That is right, week number 5 of 7314, which is your reference services class, or I just call it reference. I don't even remember the exact title, and I've been teaching it for a while. But it is your reference class, and unfortunately for some of y'all, and I apologize, but unfortunately for some of you, I am going to go ahead and make this check-in video mandatory, and the reason being is because I'm just going to, now you have directions on how to use Question Point within the course, but I am going to actually use Question Point with myself just so you can also just kind of see it being done. And then we're going to look at a few other course updates. This check-in videos should be under 20 minutes, but I definitely want you all to watch me log in just so that the log in procedure just kind of makes sense to you and so you can see what you're going to be doing. So with that said, I have to have two browsers open in order to do this. So I am going to open this browser and let's see. Please work. Okay. So what happens when I do that? Hold on, I'm gonna pause while I look up my information here. I'm sorry. All right, let's try this again. So. Okay, and it's always a mess. It's never exactly fun. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, so I have this, and this is going to be here. So when you log into Question Point, this is kind of what you should be looking at, and what you are going to want to do is to launch your chat. So we're going to continue to HP chat here, or to QP chat. Let's see. Okay, so when you are serving as the librarian, this is how things are going to look. Okay, so again, when you're logged in, this is what your actual window is going to look like. Now, what you are going to do when you are playing the patron is you are going to go to this specific link, and this is why I have to have two windows just kind of open. So, where you see the assignment prompt, where you see virtual reference practice in paper, what you can do is you can scroll all the way down to the easy breezy instructions for both Question Point, Librarian, and Patron. And I have logged in per these steps as a librarian instructions. And then what I can do when I'm the patron, and I'm playing both roles this time, so don't get confused. When you actually do this assignment, your partner is going to be the librarian and you be the patron, and you role play for part of it, and then for the second part you're going to switch roles and you'll be the librarian and your partner will be the patron. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, please reach out to me and let me know. So again, this here is me being logged in the Question Point as the librarian. So again, this login is me being logged on the Question Point as the librarian. Now, steps as a patron. I can click this link. I will be brought here. I will move myself so you can see what is going on. And let's say I'm just calling myself, I'll call myself Dr. Jace because that's how I do. I have two email addresses through the UM system, so might as well use them both. And I am just demonstrating the feature. Let this be clear. I am just demonstrating the feature. So you are not necessarily going to ask a question this simple. I want you to treat this as if it is a real reference interaction, and therefore you're probably going to be asking something a little more complex than what I'm about to ask right now. Again, I'm just doing this for simplicity's sake. But let's say I just had the simple question of when does the library close? I can type that in, I can hit connect, and now I'm over here. I just got a ding. You might not have heard that ding because I don't know if my computer audio is on or not. But I just got a ding, and that means that my librarian interface has just gotten a question. So as you can see, when I am the patron, hello, Dr. Jace, thank you for your question. We will be with you shortly. This is my question. When does the library close? Now, when I come back here, I see there are none active, and I do have one that's new. Dr. Jace, that time. When does the library close? And I get a little bit of information here about who's showing up. I have an IP address and various other things going on here. Now I have joined the session. Now that I have actually put my cursor in here, Librarian Jason A has joined the session. And as you can see over here, now it says Librarian Jason A has joined the session to talk to Dr. Jace. Now, I am going to say today it closes at 9 p.m. And you can do an emoji if you want. So that happens there. I've answered. Now Dr. Jace can look at this and say, ah, okay, I'll be in a bit later. Type that in. We get that over here. And it is always good practice to just ask if there's anything else you can do for a patron. Sounds good. Is there anything else we can do for you? Send. And then this person will say no. And then maybe this person just exits the chat. So sometimes you're going to close the chat as a librarian, and then a lot of times the patron is going to close it, and maybe close it a little abruptly. So, you know, don't be too surprised if that happens. Hit the OK there. And now we have a little transcript. Patron has ended the chat, as you can see here. Patron ended the session. So I'm going to move this, hit end session, in that session, and I'm going to do a resolution of answered, which won't always be the case for you, but it is the case now. And we're going to go ahead and call this complete. Okay. So that is the basics of how Question Point works. If you need any help with Question Point, again, let me know. You can reach me anyplace, anytime, anytown. AustinJ@Missouri.edu. AustinJ@Missouri.edu. Now, let's just make sure that there are no course updates that I need to go over, and then I'll let you go. One moment. Okay, there is not a lot to go over when it comes to course updates and that sort of thing. You all are looking great, actually. I do hope to start grading those reference interaction reports a little bit later this week, possibly even today. Don't forget that the virtual reference practice and paper is due March 8th, so it's coming up in about 3 weeks. And that's what you were using Question Point for, if you do not know. And aside from that, everything is pretty much going as it should be going. Again, your discussions look great, so keep that up. We do have a synced session coming up on March the 11th, so be mindful of that, but there will be plenty of reminders there. So that is it. That is all that I have for this week. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next week. This is Dr. Jace, glad to be in the place, and I will again see you next week.